Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Good Things Delmarva. It's a new fund at the Community Foundation that is by women for women. And here to tell us all about the Women's Fund is one of the visionary founders, Susan Purnell. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you, Ashley.
Well, tell me a little bit about the goals of the Women's Fund at the Community Foundation.
Okay. There are many unmet needs, as you know, in this community. And we believe, as women, collectively, that we can somehow raise enough money to at least make some dent in some of the unmet needs that we have in our community. And I'll give you an example. I was over at the Christian shelter about a week ago, and I asked, well, so how many women and children do you turn away every day? And they said, at least 3 families a day.
Wow.
I mean, I think many of us are unaware of how much need there is out there. And sure, there are many, many organizations that meet some of these needs, but we're just trying to make a little bit of a difference.
Right. Now, you're one of the visionary founders. How did this idea come about?
Well, actually, a woman named Kathy Kiernan, who's a member of Delaware's Fund for Women, they call it, has been talking to several of us about doing this for a little bit of a time. And we were sitting around a lunch table, actually, and she said, I don't know why you don't just do it. And we realized we could do it so readily through the Community Foundation, because we could set up what they call a donor-advised fund, and we could set it up as a permanent endowment fund if we raised at least $20,000. So we set as our initial goal to go out and get 20 women to give $1,000, and they'd all be called visionary founders, and we did that in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
And we were amazed at how quickly women wanted to be part of this. And by the end of last week, I think we had over 100 donors. So we've got our first $100,000, 50,000 of which will go into an endowment fund. So those funds will be available in perpetuity. And then the other $50,000 we can use to address needs very soon.
Gotcha. Now, how did you get involved personally into the Women's Fund?
I'm on the board of the Community Foundation, and this was actually a luncheon of several other members of the board, women members of the board.
And isn't it funny how some of the best ideas come from
lunch.
Just sitting, hanging out at lunch? Right. It's very low-key. And for those who may not know a lot about the Community Foundation, can you just give us a brief summary of what that is?
The Community Foundation is not a cause, but it's sort of a causeway. The Community Foundation, we like to say, we connect people who care with causes that matter. People and associations have funds there, and they can, with many of these, such as the Donor Advised Fund that we set up, determine how the money is distributed to needy organizations.
Okay. So in this Women's Fund, where will the money eventually go to?
To anyone who applies that is doing something in the way of education, abuse counseling, financial aid, housing, food needs for women or children.
So great, great causes, obviously. Now, how can viewers learn more about the fund or the Community Foundation?
We have a website, as everyone else does, www.cfes.org. Or you can call the organization. I'm really terrible with memorizing telephone numbers, but if you've got it, that's great. Thank you very much.
We came prepared. We're good. Well, tell us, what has been some of the feedback from, now this is a newer fund, right?
Right.
And what's been some of the feedback from the women involved?
I think the women, we had a meeting last week, and half of the visionary founders, so almost 50 women gathered to talk about what we can do collectively. The power of women. You know, we might be the weaker sex, but when we put our minds and our hearts together, we can be pretty powerful. And the enthusiasm in that room, and the overall feeling was, let's get going. There's needs now. Let's get servicing them as soon as we can. Come on, girls, let's do it. It's an amazing contagiousness that seems to exist. And let me just give you an example. The Delaware group was looking for 1,000 visionary founders to give $1,000 each, and they did that, but it took them several years. I'm now thinking we can do that, and we can do that pretty quickly.
Well, I was going to ask you, were you shocked that it only took 2 weeks?
Totally shocked. Totally shocked. I was the naysayer. I said, well, we might be able to get $20,000. When we had $100,000, I was really in disbelief, but that just shows you the power of women collectively.
And right now, in these economic times, I mean, people really do need help.
Yes.
And that's what you're out there doing.
Absolutely.
And what has been, you know, just from people you've helped through the Community Foundation, what do they say? I mean, how can they thank you for helping them? Is there a way, you know, where you send the money to great causes?
How can they thank us?
I mean,
by telling other people that there are opportunities available. Financial help is available.
But what has been some of the feedback from them? I mean, I'm sure they just can't even thank you enough for coming out and helping them.
Oh, it's a great feeling to be able to do things for people that need it.
Well, this is such a great organization, and we put the number up there so they have your contact. So thank you so much for being here. And thanks so much for watching Good Things Delmarva. Remember to catch us right here every Sunday. We'll see you next week.